Why did we take for granted the importance of life? Why did we assume there would be no end? Assumed we'd be handed fresh beginnings on a plate of guilt-edged salvation? Why did we pick at the seams of abundance when the fabric of this land, our land, was not ours to wear? I made a sign up just in case you know. Feel free. By the mouth of the streams, the silenced voice of the ice, the ancient glacial scrape, the deep time rumble of moraines, muted only by cattle hoof on the river bend of the blacksmith. Donach Ban walked all the depths of this landscape, counting the scars of Bendorn, the dry run beds of generations worn into the solid. Even the crows watched in wonder as he offered his words up to the air around them, and each one a healing balm for the lost souls of the glen. Disturbed from slumbers by the far-off fuss of two stags, dancing on forgiving peat, the noble settling of claim, tilted with all the determined joust of antlers worn down in the battle of last autumn's dance of unions.
Tydym had gach bein eg bein dorein Jenelch yn eg mi van grein si befoi lewn Man eg fader eg cleam feig te fe Saljer och gan schleef am I songe Glug al kese Fight than Jesus slöchle min snede was van je zag. Sagen jas per trumben voorgeus. Each bazen na heet ik jas borzo. Ha wantelen me veen, kaartje je naar trek. Prachtig ger ik maar geef, is maar god geen. Skreeg ik ze, dingen jan ik veen, gunne bewa glazing like ogen niet. Sparans in de gang, tadding at the gown. Snap het je chown, rish na horst. Och, klietschen jachen jou, stochen je kan bang. Mochtigen dive shang, is je jonge. Jeebtje shitri jaun, Patrick aan ze clown. Gillian is kan hang, shit horst horst to guy. Pilled and down, China got cut down. Pillage nam jou naar, page jonge glow. Begin je struinen, wij kunnen get beter geschieden met je. Gasken ook spelen, we krijgen naar binnen. Wij gaan doorheen, gaat je in je nacht. Het heet je naar kaffe, gaat je in je muur. Ze heet je naar jammer, ga zelf in je halen. Ze hadden je vader, maar hadden we binnen. Het gaat je naar gaan, ik wees maar weer een eentje. Nou, klik wat je pretty girl.
Thank you. Hello. Aye. Now, very, very brief introductions. Very brief. On fiddle and some keyboards and a little bit of singing just coming up. Ewan Henderson. Here. My good friend, up until maybe the end of the gig, probably. And who has composed a lot of the bits and pieces of music that's woven in around the thing this evening is on whistles and pipe, Ali Hutton. And the beautiful voice of Kate Langhorne. On guitar, Owen Sinclair. And on keyboards and big fiddle, I had to do it. Duncan Lyle. Yeah. And me, I'm Jim McIntosh, who wrote the poem bits. The poems. I'm going to hand over now to Ewan and Kate are going to give you a bit of better explanation than I would about mouth music, and my grandfather would call it the hedrum hodrums, but they've got a better explanation.
We're going to give you some kind of upbeat music just now. We're going to give you a set of reels, and they're all old-style Gaelic Highland tunes. The first one's called Ancestral, which kind of loses any magic translated into English because it's the beige tailor, but it's probably referring more to the colour of his hair than anything else. Then the middle tune is the Ballater Rant, and then for the last one, myself and Kate are going to sing a bit of Post the Bale style singing for you before. If you haven't seen this before, it's the vocal dance music of Gaelic Scotland, and it goes back to a time when instruments weren't necessarily so easy to get your hands on, or at various times even banned, but people still wanted to get together and have a good time. So they would make up words to the existing dance tunes, which are sometimes silly, sometimes funny, but always with a hidden double meaning behind them as well. So this one's a Cwrnagor as a Creek, putting the goats to the rocks. crazy chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear. Chain is the chili pepper dog. Chain is the chili pepper bear. Chain is the chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear. Chain is the chili pepper dog. Chain is the chili pepper bear. Chain is the chili pepper dog, couldn't go. That's a crazy chili pepper bear.
The brawling choirs of stags, roar-marking misty boundaries from the high Alps on the western edge of Ranach. Soft wind ripples calm on lochans, on velvet water in midday dark, studded in the rising hush by the beckon of ringed plover, the fidgeting bob a sandpiper, amidst the broth of bog myrtle, blaeberry, and the urgency of the lone pine seeker, paddling his canoe across peat bog lochans, searching, counting, mapping wilderness with determination. Under the canvas of stars, dabs of curlew paint easy air towards the Isle of Yew, slow to find peace, although they know the truth of their existence. I listen to the tongued clap of water trickled into the edge, half solid, half empty of slip, and then silence. Only the faint kiss of assurance when tall reeds find each other in the gloom. A single oyster catcher scores the night with its departure from nowhere into the depths of everywhere. And all this inhale of the Ranach Moors exchange of life and the stitching of yesterday to tomorrow is reasoning enough for me, for us all. The pine seeker ploughs the velvet yet. He must. We urge him on. Through our words, our songs, our music, we urge you all on. We must. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to... Oh. Just spoiled the effect there, didn't I, completely? I hope you're all reasonably enjoying yourselves. Thank you for all biding on. I mean, that's not bad. You're still here. Oh, there's no... See if I wake up at 3 in the morning scratching my midges. Is there any out there today? No? No? The odd pocket of resistance, I suspect. Right, we'll batter on. This next thing's called Second Sicht. A bit of Scots for you. It's not too long, you'll be fine. Just hang on to the edge of the table, you'll be all right. Of the moor is nae mair than a minding for the peat waters at its heart, second sicht, in the song of the makers, and the enchanted way, they women o' the pines, singing o' the old ways. Sic a glimmer of dark sichts louping through pages o' wonderful spill, o' poorful thoughts, compliments, elegies for the songmeester. Ence, far awa, stop it in time, a spell cast in the mosaic o' vanadies, monkshood and butterbur, steer it into a wooden bowl, and our yon shudder to the flagstains by the fire, and the weave o' banes, a mystery blowing in the nor wind.
Gertjana krianiga, Gian shed, Galihim Alua, Suashen, Rikia Fradia, and Nagahina Gaitor, Sage Mishira, Sambarantas, Nachvalav, and Feradu.
Thank you. Yeah, as I was saying, the wee Scots piece there is called Second Sicht, and then Kate came up with that lovely song to weave into the end of it, and there's a reference in there about, into my bit about Monkshood and Butterburn, which is all in the... I'm going to let Kate explain this rather... I don't think we'll ever see it on any dating agency sites yet, roughly. What is it?
Ja, sinne. I'm sure son around Doshach Feskin Magay for Harstin. Feskin Magay, from a dog has got a Jew whole hour second. Good show. Lie lager. Yeah. So yeah, that what I sung there. A couple of verses I found in a collection of poetry by Donachach Ban McIntyre, Duncan Ban McIntyre. So we've heard of him already this evening. In fact, I sung. So before I sang that one, I sung a section of Moloch Ben Dodain, which is a very famous nature poem that he composed. He was from Glenorchy, composed about Ben Dodain, that mountain and the forest that used to extend far up it. But in that same collection in which I found Moloch Ben Dodain, I found a couple of verses called Raunen Vaijin Gal Launen. So a few verses of a maiden for her lover. And it's basically a wee spell to make a man fall in love with you. Now, obviously, there's a question of consent, right? But it's so elaborate. She takes Monkshood, she takes Butterbur, she takes it in a wooden shovel, she puts that shovel on her shoulder, she climbs on a Sunday to a flat flagstone, she takes three bones of an old man, 9 stalks of bracken, she burns it all in a kindling fire, she spreads that ash against the chest of the man against the north wind, and she's under the impression then that she'll be very successful. So I just thought it was funny. So like the way I sung it there, you could be like, oh, what is that mysterious? Like, I honestly just think so elaborate, so creative, and well, I don't know if I haven't heard it being successful, but I've never tried it. Maybe at the end of which he goes, oh, you could just have asked me out. So, round and Vaijin.
So, gentlemen, if you see a lass coming towards you with a bucket of ash, you know, I noticed there was at least one lassie out there with her phone, either taking a photograph or taking notes. I'm not sure, but we'll be in the papers next month. Man assaulted with ash bucket. Hauled over the coals. Oh, no, I didn't do that, did I? Sorry. Right. Will we get on?
No, carry on your story.
Oh, I think that was it. Was that it? I think aye. We'll save. We've got another one for later. Right. Have we got some more? Oh, aye, right. Go. Surveys the moors with his eyeless face, ignoring the raised fists of the mount, the racking cough of deer, the noble eagle in the razor swirl and desolate void of light. Winter's fierce mock of weakness twists and weakens the resolve of branch, then bundles up their surrender. He celebrates their death cries with driven hail and bitter rain. There are centuries of corpses yet. There are still roots of heather-coated defiance. Old pines have battled winter's anger before. There is rebellion in their bones. Their branches twisted like ropes, bent double or tied in loops, proudly worn as campaign medals. Every battle survived strengthens their future, yet alone sometimes they brace under the bruise-coloured storms waiting for the final skirmish of their own hard journey to oblivion. to accept fused silence into the mulch of time, where the world has been watching along with cowardly tears. That was a wee poem called The Bone Rebellion, quite an angry wee thing. But also that tune, so a wee extra round of applause for the composer of that, is The Bone Rebellion Waltz, the man himself, Ali Hutton. I'm not sure there'll be many waltzes at the school dance at Christmas with that one, but you never know. What a thought. So we'll bash on. Right. Dreamt of a welcoming circle, friends bound by determination, guarded by the bleached gravestones on the hill of the bellowing, where rest the found graves, the first and the last of the lost pines. I heard spirit music, sung to seeds in evening and the planting of futures into the moor by day. I inhaled the sweet drams proffered in the peat smoke of passions with all due regard to ancestors. Through gaps in the flames, eyes glistened with the soul connections in stories harvested with the toil. And as the embers fade from the pass of the enclosed field where his family make their sleep couches, the Bairnstag sings of noble surrender, and friends of toil link arms, renewing their tireless love of this open ground. going into, not quite the end, but there's quite a little bit here we'll do as one bit, and then, so what I'd like to do is just to say a couple of thanks to Joyce and all the organisers for inviting us to be part of this. It's been a tremendous honour to be here. And thank you to Martin and the gang for making us sound half sensible, you know, appreciate that. And just a wee again, Ewan and Ali and Kate, Owen, Duncan and myself, thank you for all being here. We're not quite ready, we've got another wee while to go, but it's just an obvious bit. And at the end, I'll bring up the sign and you can tell you when we're finished. So, I think that was it. Was there anything else I was supposed to say? No. It's all good. On sun-bleached branch, on armour-plated bark, on the pollen-stained shore of Tulla, and on the skim of Rannoch's peat map maze, we sing of the loss in our union of anger, of the heart spikes on the Snell wind, and in the pockets of mulched root and grant wisdom. We confess to the ragged remains of our exploitations. The lament of seasons and 1,000 storms can still be heard rising from the broken ground, where the peat cut is down to the granite bed. The kennings of the Kayach reaches the Bealach, where once they would stop to rest before descending to the pass of the Lost Pines. Solemn silence but for the prayers dictating the pace to the end of days. A shroud of cotton grass, the tear-stained fabric of loss. A coffin of coffins, the final pine box for the final Scots pine. To sing more clearly, to find the way forward, a path back up the scree of bark bones and discarded needles, wrapped in greed, buffeted by the winds of outrage. You, us, have to find new life. You must all have a tempest of ambition and an etched-out dawn, where a common bond awaits you all. Find the seeds, find the pines, find hope, find tomorrow, and the day after that will surely follow.
Scalpag na gaie, shiel ud karstjen. Gaat je grimachig idir dain gidoch, schanel na leichen, snaichtje, snekriken, it hosje gorf. Ach, she scalpag a hansen in hem. She ma fjuer en kruf oele, she ma vraher a geling green, kan dat ieder na nader, je lefan no fjarne. Kan bedain a gases na frieven fine, kan bedain a vis arcorix ar cadrav coble. A jawl vo hjarst uud blaste ar schiencheren, le girl is blas gardiodachig.
Somewhere in the world, a tree was born on the same day as you. You'll probably never meet. Your destinies are shaped differently, yet your roots find security on the same earth. You may find yourself alone, but somewhere in the world you have a soulmate. So look to the pines and wonder, are you my sister? Are you my brother? The pollen inscribes our DNA into the air. It's a simple matter of knowing what spells out your name in the scatter of both your futures. The pollen is our genetic code, and settling on the far shore, the next generation awaits the tide. Thank you. And thank you all on behalf of We Have Been in Search of the Lost Pines, Ewan, Ali, Kate, Owen, Duncan, and myself, Jim McIntosh.
Jim McIntosh, everyone.
And now you do this bit. So, thank you.
Well, wasn't that a treat? What a great way to end the day. Is there more? Have you guys got a wee more? Have you got a wee more for us?
You want more?
Have you got a wee more? I think there's a wee more. Yeah. We're not letting you off that lightly. Come on.
When you say more, you mean tunes. You're not needing any more poetry. No, that's fine. No, thank you very much. I'll see you after for a... Yeah. I know my place. It's okay. You won one award.
Just do it from the break, the Bendoran, the scars. No, that's fine. You're the cheerleader. Do that.
And hidden had gach bein, eg ben dorein. Jenach en eg me van grein, she bewoigelum. Manig vader ik liam feichtje fe, sager och gen schleef war mi somre Fire than Jesus, lach lemon seed of Asran, sagen jach bei der Trumpen Lorchusch, Hage wasn't an eye, Jack Jas Barzo, have Antele me fein, Kachtje je nach Drake, Prachtig jerk maar geen, is maar gewoon nog geen. Skuliga Gudikse, den je janik veem geit. Kunnen bewaken gleich koken nicht. Sporans en byggbjörn, tar ein de jaun. Snappe vil jeg tjaun, rishna horste vi. Och klischen jakken jaus, dachen jakken bang. Blochtigen dive schenk, is er ljonde gay. Je hebt de shetri jaun, kan hang shit or stores to give. Peeling and down, China can't go down. Village and piano, teach a young. She village weg vinnig te genies rune. De kunning get better geschieden again. De gas kan nog spelen verkrijgen de benen. Lego rohing, jedi hune. Agent a cover kan ja de buha. So agent a jana vanzelf get halu. Se alle just bij de moscade geen benen. Na hoje na cara que está o de jalke de jalke was a I knew start play maar dan moet ik de benen. Zo had ik een kunnen deel waar ze is kunnen. Die haal nog een benauwd kunnen steken. Alleen nog wel een knellig verschillende. Ik hier geen jacht mee bij de keeper.
I was very, very careful that we were talking about lone pine seekers and things, and I did actually go back and play it to make sure I didn't use any of the same kind of. Thank you.